Things. There was a time when raising many children didn't feel overwhelming. It felt deeply human. Grandparents didn't rush childhood. They intuitively understood something science is now proving.
Today, many parents feel exhausted raising one child. Back then, grandparents raised many.
What changed wasn't children. What changed was the nervous system environment around them. Grandparents lived in homes where stress moved slowly.
Harvard University's Center on the Developing Child explains that a young child's brain is still under construction.
That's why so many parents feel overwhelmed today. It's not because you're failing. It's because you're carrying the emotional load of a developing brain.
Grandparents didn't call it co-regulation. They lived it. When one adult felt overwhelmed, another stepped in.
Research supported by the American Academy of Pediatrics shows that children learn regulation through calm connection, not control.
Oxford psychology research helps us understand this clearly. A child borrows the adult's trust system.
Grandparents didn't raise perfect children. They raised resilient ones. And resilience grows through repair.
Today's parents are not doing less. They are doing more alone. More decisions, more. According to the National Institutes of Health, the parts of the brain responsible for impulse control and emotional regulation are.
Grandparents allowed emotional movement. Children weren't expected to sit still perfectly. Emotional expression.
When a child's nervous system overloads, behavior is not a choice, it's a signal.
Earlier generations trusted presence. Modern parents are taught to trust instructions. Too much information has quietly replaced intuition.
This pause matters. Neuroscience shows that when parents regulate themselves first, the child's nervous system.
Oxford psychology research describes this as nervous system synchrony. Children don't learn calm through commands, they absorb it through connection.
This is why parenting feels heavier today. Not because children changed, but because parents are expected to.
Grandparents trust a nervous system to settle naturally. They understood something we're relearning.
Repair matters more than perfection. According to decades of developmental research, a child feels safest. What grandparents practice naturally, modern parents must practice intentionally. Regulation.
When a child wakes already dysregulated, it's not attitude, it's biology. Their nervous system is.
Grandparents allowed safe freedom. Exploration wasn't misbehavior, it was learning. The nervous system needs movement before it can settle.
Today's children face constant stimulation. Lights, sounds, screens, expectations.
Research supported by pediatric neuroscience shows that reducing more effective strategies.
Parents moved at the child's nervous system speed, not the clocks, not society's. And the body remembers that pace. This pause is powerful. The American Academy of Pediatrics emphasizes that emotional.
Parents today are exhausted not because they care too little, but because they care constantly.
Rest used to be shared. Silence wasn't uncomfortable. It was regulating.
The lesson grandparents left us wasn't technique. It was nervous system wisdom. Calm first, connection always. Illness feels uncomfortable today, but the nervous system needs moments of doing nothing to reset itself.
According to neuroscience research referenced by Harvard Center on the Developing Child, the nervous system aids.
Grandparents didn't fear boredom. They understood that boredom is not emptiness pied. It's the doorway to self-directed regulation. Today, we rush to fix discomfort. But constant fixing can prevent the nervous system from learning how to settle on its own.
Older generations allowed frustration to exist safely. Modern culture treats frustration as danger, but
the nervous system reads attention before words. When parents disconnect from devices, children feel regulation without a single sentence spoken.
Studies referenced by the American Psychological Association show that parental presence, not constant interaction,
Grandparents trusted the body to complete its own stress cycle. They didn't interrupt the process, they protected it. The wisdom we're rediscovering is simple, but not easy. Regulation first, reaction later.
Repair is where real parenting lives. Not in the moments we get it right, but in the moments we come back.
Decades of developmental research referenced by the American Academy of Pediatrics show that repair, not
Grandparents repaired without naming it. They modeled accountability, not authority. Children learned safety through honesty, not dominance.
When parents force repair, the child will sense something powerful. That lesson lasts longer than any rule.
Modern parents are surrounded by images of perfection. But perfection was never the goal. Connection always was. Information overload has replaced trust. But no study, no method, no expert can replace a regulated adult in the room.
Psychological research from institutions like Oxford reminds us that secure attachment forms through consistency and emotion.
Grandparents understood something modern life often forgets. Healing happens in ordinary moments.
When parents slow down, children feel it. When parents soften, children settle. Regulation flows downward.
Grandparents didn't raise perfect children, they raised emotionally safe ones. And that wisdom still works even now.
Modern parents don't need more strategies. They need permission to slow down, to feel.
Child development is not linear. According to research synthesized across pediatric psychology, growth happens.
Grandparents didn't center life around managing emotions. They centered life demure, and emotions found their place.
Today's schedules are full, but nervous systems are empty. Reducing pace often does more than adding support.
Fewer transitions mean fewer stress spikes. This is why slower days feel easier, even when nothing else changes.
Grandparents responded earlier tone, not louder. They noticed subtle cues before behavior escalated.
Research across developmental psychology shows that early attunement prevents escalation more effectively than correction after the fact.
Parenting becomes lighter when we stop fighting the nervous system and start working with it.
This is what grandparents pass down. Not rules, not methods, but nervous system wisdom that still holds true.
You're not behind. You're not doing it wrong. You're parenting in a louder world, with a quieter wisdom that still works.